All right, guys. So here on November 16th, I am catching back up on all the daily progress summary videos I put on hold when I was busy moving and also didn't have internet. And today, or not today, right now, we're going to be looking at November 14th, which was a Sunday. And so on the 13th, the Saturday before this, we had spent that entire day moving. So we'd gotten the U-Haul truck and moved everything from the storage unit in the apartment into the new house. And then we moved things around in the house, getting them in the right room so that we could organize them after that. So this was the heavy lifting day where we did all of the major work in getting the furniture arranged and all that. And then we did some organizing and unpacking. Now, this Sunday, actually, we spent almost this whole day cleaning out the apartment. So we had a checklist given to us by the rental office at the apartment of all of the cleaning tasks that needed to be done. And if we didn't do them sufficiently or properly, well, then we'd get charged. So cleaning out, like, for example, the stovetop and the oven and the microwave and cleaning the shower and the baseboards all around the apartment and the blinds on the windows and everything, vacuuming all the carpets, and you get the idea. All of these things need to be done. Otherwise, we get charged at move out. So we spent probably a good 6 hours or 7 hours this day on this Sunday here. So Sunday the 14th, we were cleaning out the whole apartment. So kitchen, bathroom, blinds, baseboards, everything. Everything that is except for the fridge. And that's because we actually don't have a refrigerator in the house yet. That refrigerator is coming on November 17th. So actually tomorrow from the perspective of today here on the 16th. So we left everything in the fridge. We're going to move it all over once we have the fridge plugged in our new house. So we cleaned out everything except for the fridge, which we will do tomorrow if everything works out well, as I hope it does. But everything else we cleaned. And so, went through a whole bunch of paper towels and cleaning supplies and vacuums and mops and you name it. Spent most of the day cleaning. And then after we got back to the house, I was testing out the treadmill setup I have. So I want to be able to walk on the treadmill while I work. I have a big TV. Standing far back from the TV means that when you bob up and down when you walk, it doesn't mess with your reading as much. But I hadn't been using this treadmill, even though I've owned it for more than a year now, because it was evidently too loud for the people below me in the apartments. I didn't want to be a rude neighbor. So they complained about it once. And after that, I said, okay, you know what? I guess this won't work in the apartment. So now that I'm at the house, though, I was still kind of concerned about the noise because I didn't want to bother either my roommate or eventually if I have company or whatever. I don't want to make it a nuisance. But it turns out that when you don't have anyone underneath you, so I have a slab foundation here in the house and carpet in the bedroom, and I have these rubber pads to help reduce the noise and vibration farther. Well, from the perspective of the master bedroom, the closest room in the house is the kitchen. But if I close the door to the master and you stand in the kitchen, you can barely hear anything at all, much less the other rooms in the house. So very pleased that I'll be able to use my treadmill now when I'm working on the computer. I think it'll get me a lot of sort of free exercise, basically, walk probably 3 or 4 miles every day for basically for free. That's a good 500 calories, maybe. It'll make it a lot easier to stay in excellent shape. So looking forward to being able to use the treadmill, but I tested all that out, set it up in the house once we got back from cleaning. I also set up the new router on this day here on the 14th. So I'd had a router that my parents had given me that was pretty old. It's just kind of one of the spare ones they had. And it was fine when we were in the apartment and we were only like 4 feet away from the router. But now that I'm all the way across the house, the router's in this closet that they wired all the cabling to, and it's across the house from me in the master bedroom, probably a good, 30 feet away, maybe through a couple walls. And my signal was absolute trash with the cheap router. I mean, I was getting like 4 megabits per second down, and that's not so great, especially when I'm paying for 150 megabit per second data link here. And so I did my research and paid for a new router, probably about $115, $120 or so. One of the fancy schmancy Wi-Fi 6 routers. And well, when I got it set up, I was blown away because the same distance in the same room that I was getting 4 megabits per second down with the cheap router, I was getting 140 megabits per second down with the new router. And so, of course, that's way better because I'm paying for 150 megabits per second, and getting 140 down is excellent. Now that's on the 5G band of the router. There's the 2 bands, the 2.4 gigahertz, which carries slightly further, doesn't have as many problems getting blocked by things. And then the 5G, which if you have the potential to use and without getting blocked can have faster data rates. Well, on the 5G link, like I said, getting 140 megabits per second, very happy with that. Definitely a worthy investment here. But it took me some time to set up the router, hook it up to the modem, get the app set up to manage it on the control panel, and all that stuff. Now, I also organized the living room this day. We had moved a bookcase in here, and we had all the books on the floor from where we put them previously. So we propped up the bookcase, and then I organized all the books kind of by topic. I have the classic shelf from all the study of ancient cultures that I'd done in college. I have two degrees, actually. I have a degree in ancient Greek and a degree in classics, which is more like the history and the culture part of it. So I have a shelf dedicated to all of my books on that topic, and then a shelf dedicated to language study. So that's Latin and Greek and Hebrew. Those are the languages I've studied. All ancient dead languages, I suppose, but all my textbooks and work there on another shelf. And then my ministry stuff, so commentaries and mostly technical commentaries, actually. And then, apologetics books and things like that. And then finally, just the other stuff. So books on philosophy or finance and economics and things like that, just other interests I have. So set up the bookcase there. I also, this is a busy day here, was setting up the airline tickets and the rental car stuff for a holiday trip that we're planning on having over the holidays here, so Christmas and New Year's, to go see family. So go see my parents and my grandma. Set up that with my sisters. So we got all the flights scheduled and all that. That took a while and was much back and forth with my family there. And then still more organizing and unpacking. In fact, probably be doing this one for a couple weeks here. Lots to do, still organizing in the house-wise. But the big thing today here on Sunday the 14th was cleaning that apartment and then getting the router set up after that. Those were probably the biggest things that got done on this day. And after this day, again, we were super tired because we'd been on our feet most of the day or on our knees cleaning everything in the apartment. But we got it done. You only had to do it once here. Definitely don't like this process. So I'm hoping I don't have to move again because there's so much that goes into it here. But hopefully we got the apartment sufficiently clean so that when we have our final checkout with the rental office, they won't ding us and charge us money for things, because I think we did a pretty good job overall. We even put the Windex on the windows and put the Windex on the appliances to make them sparkly. So I think perhaps even we went above and beyond, but we'll see. We'll see what the rental office thinks of all this. But we spent quite a bit of time cleaning, and so we were pretty exhausted after this day as well. So 2 hard days here. The Saturday the 13th, we moved all of the big stuff, and then Sunday the 14th, we were cleaning out the apartment. So after that weekend, we had everything in the house, most of the big stuff organized in the house, and kind of sat down, took a deep breath after that, and we're like, so we can finally say that the process of moving is mostly done. And at that point it was. So that was what we did here on Sunday the 14th, and I will pick back up in a second talking about Monday the 15th.